right? I should just be in the Zoom. Okay, we'll just do that.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm Elena. We are coming to you live. We have a lot of fantastic people who are here to be talking to you today about just smoothies and solutions and sharing some stories. So it's going to be a really fun morning. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to be doing some smoothie demos. And there's going to be some fantastic giveaways. So I'm really excited to see what these are. They're really good. So if you are here live with us, please send us a message, make a comment that you're here live, and then let us know who invited you. We'd like to see who is connecting with who and who invited you. That way, if you do win a prize and we need to contact you, we can let you know who your friend is. And thank your friend for inviting you, because obviously they care about your health and wanted you to hear more about these products and just healthy living in general. And we're very glad that you decided to share your morning with us. So Lydia is here. She's going to be sharing some wonderful information with you. And so she's going to go ahead and get started.
Thanks, Elena. Good morning, everybody. And first of all, the people on Zoom, if you guys would all just mute yourselves until you need to talk or whatever, that'd be great. And so welcome everybody and everybody out there on Facebook. So welcome to our shakes and our smoothies and our solutions party. And we're going to talk about exactly what that means. We'll be demoing how to make some shake recipes. Why are smoothies so great? What's so great about them? And maybe some things you can do to hyper-nourish your smoothie. So what brought a lot of us here today and to where we're at? So my story started a few years ago. I'm Lydia Kopika. I'm a nutritionist, and I was looking for a good protein powder, something I could just carry with me in my car and mix it up when I needed it. And I didn't trust anything out there on the retail shelves. I've read a lot about things coming from China, maybe shakes that aren't that clean. There's heavy metals in them and just a lot of traces of toxins. And I really didn't trust anything. So a total stranger invited me to a smoothie party, which I went to. And it turns out, I've got a lot of stuff on my desk here. It was these complete shakes by Juice Plus. And there's research behind them. They're certified clean, and they're vegan, gluten-free, and dairy-free. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. So I tried those. And the beauty about smoothies is, for me, this starts my day. Now, I know some of you were commenting that you don't do breakfast in the morning or you're not hungry in the morning. You could do a smoothie anytime. These are a meal replacement shake. So you could do it in the evening, maybe when you get home from work and you don't have time for dinner, or you want something quick, something you could mix up in your car, makes a good lunch. But I like to do mine in the morning, and it really literally sets the tone for what I eat the rest of the day. Because if I don't have my smoothie, I notice I'm hungry all day. I'm snacking. I'm eating things that I would normally eat. But when I do my smoothie, these are very low glycemic, so I don't have any cravings. I'm not hungry, and it's just a great way to get extra fiber in. So when I do my smoothie in the morning, it's about 29 grams of fiber. So if you had to guess how many grams of fiber you need every day, feel free to type that number into the comments. But I can add a lot of great things to my smoothie to really hyper nourish it. I can get more fruits and vegetables and nutrients into my smoothie than any other meal I could do in the day. So that's one of the great things. But what I also started noticing, I was also at the same time introduced to these fruit, vegetable, and berry capsules. And these are 30 fruits and vegetables. It's kind of like juicing, but they've been vine ripened, and dried and encapsulated. And I have an autoimmune disease, and I was suffering with chronic fatigue hours every day. And these ended up giving me more energy, and I couldn't understand why. And the more I started researching and learning, we're just not getting enough plant foods in our diet. We're not getting the recommended now 10 to 15 servings a day. And it made a huge difference on my health, and just really kind of started my whole health journey and helped me turn around my symptoms. So this is Tanya joining us this morning. Hey, Tanya. We're just going to ask, okay, you're muted. Okay, so we're going to get to Tanya's story, but first we're going to have Debbie Cryer, and she's going to demo making a smoothie this morning. So Debbie, let us know what you're making. There you go.
Good morning. Good morning. I am making one of two of my favorites. This morning is a pumpkin smoothie. And so what I do is I use the NutriBullet to mix my smoothie up. And so we'll take a couple tablespoons of pumpkin, add it in. I've already put a couple ice cubes in here because I like it a little thicker. Then I'm going to add in a teaspoon of pumpkin spice. So now this is just the real pumpkin puree. And then just a sprinkle of cinnamon. And the great thing about our smoothies, they come in the individual packages, or they come in these nice pouches as well, with a nice little scoop. And this is what I do with it. I put it in my own tub, has a lid, so I can scoop it out every day. You can tell it's an everyday meal for me. And like Lydia said, I'm kind of a mess if I don't have it. I definitely know if I feel like I'm missing something. I'm dragging throughout the day if I don't have this shake. So, and I add one whole frozen banana, which is great because it will make the smoothie nice and smooth and a little bit thicker as well. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add a scoop of the vanilla complete. The reason why I love the pumpkin so much, some of the nutritional things about pumpkin is just a good source of fiber and potassium and vitamin C and antioxidants, everything that we need. So I use almond milk, a non-dairy, the almond milk unsweetened in my mix, about 8 ounces. Put the lid on here. It's going to be a little noisy for a hot second, so bear with me. And voila, a gorgeous smoothie. Orange in color, delicious. I wish you could have it. I had enough and you guys were all with me so that we could share this morning. But here's my wonderful pumpkin smoothie.
So Debbie, we have a question for you. What brand of almond milk are you using?
I shop at Costco. So it's pretty inexpensive. I think I get 10 of these in a box for less than $7.
Okay, so it's Kirkland.
Kirkland, yeah.
Kirkland, yeah. Okay, great. Thank you.
And actually, it's just like, I know we don't really count calories, but it's 30 calories per cup. So works for me.
Okay, and anybody has any questions, please type those into the comments on Facebook. The people on Zoom can't see the Facebook comments, so I'll be watching those so I can pass those on. So if anybody has any questions or comments, anything they'd like to share, Anybody who's joining us late, let us know who you are and who invited you so we can get you in the drawing. And any questions at all, please feel free to let us know. And then I have a question about, will recipes be posted? I believe we will be able to post these recipes later. And is there any caffeine?
No. Not in this.
That looks awesome, Debbie. Nice and thick, and you know that pumpkin, it's extra fiber too, like we were talking about. So that looks delicious.
Great. And what I do, just so I can say, like, if I don't use this whole can up, so what do you do with this? I have a great pumpkin muffin recipe that I use the rest of the can for. And then I'll make them up in the afternoon. Otherwise, I just put them, sometimes I put them in my little jars and put them in the freezer. If I know that, you know, I'm going to use it up maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So, but that's, you know, something to think about, because once you take 2 tablespoons out, what do you kind of do with the rest?
Sure.
But we have a really healthy and fun, great tasting pumpkin muffin recipe that I'll post as well. But today was all about smoothies.
So someone is asking a question, what would I do if I cannot have extra fiber? So what would you recommend, Debbie?
Well, as far as the pumpkin, I mean, you could, there are other recipes where you wouldn't. My favorite recipe is just a complete chocolate with a banana, a frozen banana with almond milk, and you know, maybe just a handful of spinach, and that's perfect.
That sounds great too. Awesome. Yeah. So Joanne, we could talk about why, you know, feel free to reach out to any of us. We could talk about why you can't have that extra fiber and maybe some other things you could do. Sounds like kind of a special situation there. Okay, great. That was awesome, Debbie. And it looks, do you ever top it off with a little whipped cream or anything?
I usually don't. And if I do, well, I have a couple different times on the chocolate one with the almond cream. That almond kind of comes in like the ready whip.
Yeah.
Thingamadoodle can. But as far as almond, but you know, I'm just pretty good with this. This tastes like a dessert in the morning. It's kind of crazy and super healthy.
Looks very filling too. Great. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Lydia.
Okay, now we have Tanya. Tanya, thank you for joining us today, and we would love to have you introduce yourself and share a little bit about your story and your experience. And you're muted, so I can unmute. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Tanya Williams in the Michigan. I live in Michigan. And I started Juice Plus, I believe it was back in April, because I don't know, I just heard about it on a fluke listening. Well, it probably wasn't a fluke, but I was listening to a TV show and he mentioned Juice Plus. So I Googled it and just ordered it online. And that's how I connected with Patty. She became my rep because she was close proximity to me. And from there, I just started taking it and my skin started clearing up because I had a severe attack with my eczema or atopic dermatitis, which they have now labeled as an autoimmune disease. And it just completely, my face was completely covered in broken skin and the eczema. And after about 2 weeks, my skin started to make a significant change and difference after taking Juice Plus. And I have been taking it ever since. And we just catapulted into some other health, into a better health journey. Started taking some of the complete. I'm not consistent with the complete, but I do take it sometimes. I also take additional capsules because my skin was so bad. I decided I would take extra. During times, I don't always take extra, just every so often I'd be like, maybe I should take some extra. So based on how I feel. So right now I'm taking extra. I don't know, maybe because it's cold and flu season that I decided to do that. So my whole family now is on Juice Plus. This is the only, sometimes I don't know what to call it, supplement or whatever that my husband has ever taken that I've brought home. Everything else, he's like, "Up, this doesn't work. It makes my stomach hurt. It does this, it does that." But this is the only one that he has consistently taken. We've noticed a cognitive difference in one of my sons. I don't know, he's just doing better in school. And I make him take the adult dose though. And he switched from the chewables to the capsules because he didn't like the chewables. So I'm like, well, we got options. So I switched him to the capsules, and he takes those, and he takes an adult dose of that because I know it's not hurting him. And my oldest son really likes the complete, but for some reason my husband had him stop taking it. But that's why it's important to talk to other people, because Patty assured me that it was not harmful for him as a kid, because he started gaining weight, like bulking up. And but it was probably more so because he was lifting weights than the protein that he was taking, the complete. So I'm gonna put him back on it because I know it's good for him. Let me see. It just catapulted into even other family members taking it. My sister, my aunt. My sister noticed her hair is super thick, just like super thick, like noticeably, like she has twice as much hair or something on her head. And my aunt noticed her eyebrows are thicker. So it's just, my mom notices it more so when she doesn't take it than when she's like, because she just doesn't have the same energy. But yeah, it's been a great product for my family. I think I'll see if anybody has a question, but yeah, it's been a great asset for us. Oh, one more thing. One of my relatives, my husband's brother, has COVID. So looks like he's on the upswing, but my husband went and dropped him off some Juice Plus. So we'll see how that goes for him. He just dropped it off day before yesterday, because he's like, you got to take this stuff, man. I think it'll help you.
That's awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
So while anybody posts any questions, Tanya, that's a great story. I love hearing that. And I think you had some photos that you're going to post in the feed maybe later.
I don't know how to post any pictures, but I
I know it's
can
quite remarkable.
if I can figure it out, I will.
Great.
Well, do you want me to post it on Facebook or somewhere in? I don't know how to do it on here, but can
If you could just maybe even text them to Patty, she'd be able to post those for you.
Okay.
Those pictures. And we just want to say that your skin does look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And
I can even wear makeup now. I couldn't wear makeup before. I don't have any on now, but I can wear it now.
You don't need it. You look fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
We definitely are hoping that your relatives improves from the COVID. So if anybody has any questions about her story, now one person did say you did start with the capsules. Is that correct?
That's correct. I started with capsules, all three of them. I'm on the omegas now, but I was not on the omegas in the beginning.
Okay.
Yes, those are the three.
So Tanya, your son that switched from the gummies to the capsules, that you started noticing cognitive improvement, how old is he?
He's 12.
He's 12. Okay. So yeah, he's, and that's just it, because this is considered food.
Mm-hmm.
You can't overdose. You can't take too much. It will not be harmful to you. I think it's interesting, even though, everything these days has like child-proof caps, not our capsules, because a child could get in and take this whole bottle and it would not hurt them. And like you said with the shakes too, all of our products are safe womb to tomb, starting at 6 months, of course, when a baby can have solids, but there's nothing toxic that could ever hurt anybody. So, and the shakes have even been used as tube feeding, so they're considered very safe for anybody. So it's great information. Thank you. And hoping that your relative has a good outcome too. So
yeah, I hope so. I believe he will. That's why he took it. He's like, because he knows it's helped him a lot. I can't tell you what it's helped my husband with, but he loves it.
Great. And it sounds like you're just sharing it with the people you love, and you're a partner because of that. And so who doesn't need like immune help right now? things to help strengthen their immune system. We're published and proven to do that. It's just a good choice. Everybody's worried about their health right now. So that's a good way to be sharing your story and sharing ways to help others too. So
Absolutely.
any other questions for Tanya? Okay, great. Thanks.
Just checking to see if there's any other questions. No questions at this time. So we will go ahead and move on.
Okay, so next we have Patty Thibodeau. She's going to be demoing making a shake. And Patty, introduce yourself and let us know what you're making today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Patty Thibodeau, and I'm in my kitchen here in Plymouth, Michigan. It's kind of a colder morning. Our 60-degree weather has left us, unfortunately, but we've been pretty spoiled with a warm November here. But I'm going to make a shake for you today, and I'm just going to call it Patty's Concoction. But before I actually make the shake, I get a lot of questions sometimes from people asking, what kind of milk should I use? You know, people get sometimes a little confused as to what's okay to use in the smoothie. And actually, it can be pretty much anything that you want. You can do plain old water. You can do coconut water. I love coconut water with when I use vanilla complete and with fruits and vegetables like greens and strawberries. I think the coconut water complements that really nicely. Like Debbie, you can use almond milk. And Debbie showed one brand that Kirkland carries. And then Costco also carries another Kirkland signature brand of almond milk that's actually organic. And my favorite lately has been the organic coconut milk. For me, I think that the coconut milk is a little bit thicker and creamier, and I really like that consistency when I make my shakes. There are a couple newer options too. Well, not newer, but you can also use rice milk, and you can also use oat milk. I think oat milk is kind of a newer one. I've not yet tried it, but I think Lydia has, and Cindy has too, and they say the taste is great. So another thing that sometimes you might come across when you're making your smoothies is maybe they're a little bit thinner, you want it thicker. So there's a couple of things you can do to make your shake thicker. You can add like maybe a quarter to a half of an avocado. That will really thicken it up and make it very, very creamy. And you won't taste the avocado. The first time I did it, I thought, oh no, I'm gonna ruin my shake here. But it really makes it very thick and creamy. You can add cauliflower, either cut it up in little florets or use the riced cauliflower, and that's a great thickening agent. You can decrease the amount of liquid that you use. Most of the time we use a cup of liquid, you know, decrease that by, you know, 1/8 to 1/4 of a cup, and that'll make your shake thicker. And then also if you add more greens, many of us add greens to our shakes to make them more nutritional. And if you add more of those greens, that'll help thicken it up too. So I'm going to start with, so we always, typically we use some fruit in our smoothies, and that adds, that's a sweetener. So I'm going to use a quarter of a frozen banana, and I've got 2 dates that I cut up in here. So I'm going to add those in. Just a word about your fruit choice. Bananas and dates tend to be probably fruits that are a little bit higher in the glycemic index, which means that they might boost your blood sugar level a little bit higher. For most of us, that's not too big of a concern, but if you're diabetic, maybe a better fruit choice for your smoothies would be berries, because they are lower on the glycemic index. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in my 1 cup of coconut milk. And what I have chosen to use is I'm going to add in some hemp hearts. Hemp hearts are great because they will add a little bit of protein, and they will also add some extra omegas 3s and 6s. And I love peanut butter. So peanut butter can be, you know, some kind of higher in calories and fat. So I like PB Fit. And I think this is a great alternative to peanut or almond butters. So I kind of pre-measured those so that you wouldn't have to see me measuring that out. I'm going to use vanilla complete this morning. And I usually like chocolate shakes, but I actually used the last of my big pouch. So what I will often do is add in some unsweetened cocoa. And you can make it as chocolatey as you want. So I'm going to use a heaping teaspoon there, or that was a tablespoon, not a teaspoon. All right. A little bit of ice. And I guess it helps to plug in the blender. And actually, I am going to mute myself just for a second. My blender is way louder than Debbie's. So maybe Lydia, you could say a word or two while I blend mine.
Sure, that looks yummy so far. And you know, cocoa actually adds more antioxidants too, which is great. And about the hemp hearts, a serving is like 3 tablespoons, and that's 10 grams of protein. So it's an amazing source of protein. A lot of vegans use hemp hearts, maybe topping off their salad. It gives it some extra protein. And a couple of other things that I'll just talk about as far as things you could add to your smoothies, maybe to make them a super smoothie. I like to add flaxseed. I'm almost out here, as you can see. And you can buy flaxseed anywhere. It's high in fiber. It's a good source of good fats. And just going to add some extra nourishment to your smoothie. Also, if anybody, as far as immune or anti-inflammatory, if you use turmeric, you can add this to your smoothie. And to me, a little bit of turmeric goes a long way. Patty, are you unmuted now? Let me see.
I am unmuted. Yep. So there's my shake.
Gosh, these all look so delicious.
Cheers, everybody. I haven't had breakfast yet, so.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I see you were talking about some ways to nutritionally boost our smoothies. Those are great tips. And I agree with you about the turmeric. A little goes a long way.
It does. I think it's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do notice that. And then another thing I tend to do is psyllium husk. Now, what this is it's an insoluble fiber. So it's going to add extra fiber to your smoothie. It doesn't dissolve. So you wouldn't want to put this in like a glass of water and drink it. It just doesn't. But it's a bulking agent. So, but it's your body doesn't become dependent on it like it would with Metamucil. Metamucil can be habit forming, but not psyllium husk. And I use this maybe every other day, but it really helps with that regularity, you know, keeping things moving. So just some ways to add some extra nourishment to your smoothies. Now, of course, I like to really load my smoothies up with a lot of greens. And speaking of greens, Patty, are you ready for us already, or? Oh, we can't hear you.
Sorry.
Okay.
I was just trying to play with the lighting a little bit, but is that okay?
Yeah, we could see you. We could see it. Great.
Okay. All right.
What
Great.
is this? Tell us what it is.
So this is our tower garden. And what a tower garden is, it's a hydroaeroponic way of gardening. And what that big old word means is that there is no soil, no dirt involved with this kind of gardening. And so basically you can use this indoors or outdoors. During the summertime, I have it out on my patio. When I bring it in for the winter, I do have to attach the LED lights, and those stay on about 14 hours of the day, but those provide adequate lighting and warmth for the plants to flourish. So we put ours down in the basement, and it does great during the winter time. Last year was my first winter with the tower garden, and things grew fantastic. The big benefit of having your own tower garden is that you can grow all kinds of greens and vegetables and herbs. Anything basically that is not a root vegetable, you can grow on the tower. I currently have 2 green bean plants. I have arugula, 3 different kinds of lettuces. I've got celery, parsley, basil, Asian greens. That's a new one for me this time. I can't wait to try those out. And my tower garden was planted probably about between 3 and 4 weeks ago. And I can start harvesting now. It's let's see here. So the great thing about having your own tower garden and growing your own greens is that you pick them when you are ready to eat them. So how much fresher can you get? You know, when we buy our produce at the grocery store, who knows where they're being shipped from and really how long ago they had been harvested. So this you're harvesting right before you're putting it on your table. Also, I don't have to worry about who has been touching my produce before I buy it and bring it home. And when those E. coli alerts go out on the news, it does give me reassurance that I'm getting my greens from my own tower garden. Let's see, what else can I tell you? It's very easy to put together. I am not a big technology or mechanically inclined person. And when I got my tower garden, I thought, you know what? I need to know how to put this together myself if I want to be offering them to customers. And I did it all by myself. So it's really not that hard to put together. And the maintenance on it is really easy. When it's indoors, you only have to refill the reservoir with the water and minerals like every 2 weeks. So you could even go away on vacation and this thing will take care of itself. During the summertime, when it's outside, you have to add the water a little bit more frequently, depending on how hot it has been outside. Let's see. I think tower gardens would make a great Christmas gift. You know, as our parents get older, sometimes we're scratching our heads like, oh, what are we going to get mom and dad this year for Christmas? Well, this would make a great Christmas gift. And I tell you, at the beginning of the pandemic, these tower gardens were flying off the shelves. We could barely keep up with the demand. I mean, everybody wanted to be growing their own produce with all the difficulties with shopping that the pandemic shutdowns kind of incurred. So one other thing, our company is so gracious and generous that we actually gift a free tower garden to any Boys and Girls Club of America. So if you know anybody that is involved with a Boys or Girls Club of America, get in touch with who invited you to this call and we will be happy to help you set that up. So I guess I'll come back into the picture here. I didn't want to block the tower garden view, but if you have any questions about the tower garden, please, drop a comment. And Lydia, I guess I'll hand it back over to you.
That looks fabulous, Patty. And nothing beats vine ripened. And, that's part of what we're missing today in our diets is we just can't get enough vine ripened fruits and vegetables to really make a difference in our health because things are picked way before they're ripe. They don't have the nutrients and therefore those nutrients don't get passed on to us. But when you can grow your own, it's like the tomato you grow in your yard. It tastes so fabulous. And those are the nutrients that you taste. And when you have greens that you're growing on your tower, my gosh, the flavor will just blow you away. And I want to show you a picture. This is my tower in the summertime. So we grow on our patio.
Wow.
So indoors or out 12 months out of the year and makes a huge difference in our health and the nutrients and food safety. That's a real issue. And I know back in the spring, people were really worried about the shelves were picked over. I mean, you couldn't even get food and everybody wanted to start growing their own food for their own safety. And it does make a good gift for the holiday.
Can I add a quick comment?
Sure.
So when I first got the tower garden, my husband was a little on the fence about it. He's like, why do we need this? Well, once he started having salads with our tower garden greens, he was totally converted because just like Lydia said, things are so fresh and the nutrient levels are just so high. I mean, the greens off of this taste nothing like what you get at the grocery store. So yeah, he is a total convert now. He's actually saying, are we going to get a second one?
So we have a tower garden question. How often are you able to harvest from the tower garden? Now, from what I've seen, I see people harvesting kind of as they go, but is there a time where you do certain harvests? Is it seasonal? Is it every 12 weeks, or how does that work?
I tend to harvest as it grows. And so if you kind of pick from the outer leaves of the lettuce, for instance, that'll help stimulate growth. So there are certain types of lettuces though, where people will let it grow to a head and then harvest the whole head. So it depends on what it is that you're growing. And sometimes it's personal preference too. What do you find, Lydia? I mean, cause I know with my kale, like I'll just keep picking from the outer perimeter of the plant and it continues to grow. And then eventually things will kind of outgrow their lifespans and start to bolt. And, then it's time to like completely pull it out and plug in a new seedling. But how do you do it, Lydia?
Same thing. So, and here's the thing, if you're growing maybe 3 different types of lettuce, you pick a couple of leaves from every plant, and before you know it, you have a bowl full, or, kale and celery and things that you can put into a pot of soup. So it just continues to produce. Now, if you're growing something like, a fruit bearing plant like tomatoes, which we grow outdoors, then of course that takes a couple of months before it starts bearing fruit. But yeah, so it just depends. And the same with the celery, I usually break off the outer branches first, but that's all you need. And you don't pick it until you need it. So when you need a salad, you just go out there and pick it, or downstairs or whatever. So
Hey, I got a surprise to show you guys.
okay.
I just picked these off. Green beans. I'm growing green beans on my tower garden on the inside.
How fun is that?
Look, I know. So I've got 2 green bean plants. So, with just Chris and I here, our 3 kids don't live at home anymore, but 2 green bean plants will be more than enough for the 2 of us. So I just thought that would be fun to show you. Like, there's real green beans growing on my tower garden.
Amazing. It's like having your own farm. It's basically, and to me, I don't know anything about farming or growing a garden. For me, I hate to say it, but it's gardening for dummies, because anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. But there are people, serious gardeners out there that have towers, and it's really the gardening of the future, they say, because it doesn't take up any land space. It uses only like 3% of the water compared to traditional gardening, and everything's vine ripened. And so, and a lot of schools are using them to teach farming to kids and to teach nutrition. And, schools can a lot of times get grants also. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's right. And actually, for you teachers who might be listening, our company actually provides a whole set of curriculum, lesson plans for the teachers to incorporate learning with the tower garden. So I think that's really a cool option for the teachers in our audience.
Just think it's special. All these teachers teaching from home, they could have their own tower garden in their house and use it to teach online for their students. How fun.
That would be so fun. And I know probably these poor kids and teachers are getting so tired of the virtual learning thing, but that would be something fun and exciting to introduce for the students. So yeah, I think that would be a great option for teachers.
Right. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I love seeing that. And again, keep it in mind as a holiday gift for, it's really the gift that keeps on giving. It really is. So awesome. Okay. Thanks, Patty.
You're welcome. My
So
pleasure.
I want to talk about is just a program we offer. It's called our Shred 10, and it's basically like a detox or cleanse. It could be a healthy jumpstart for really anybody in the family. And it uses our capsules and our shakes. And then basically there's just a few guidelines, and it's basically clean eating. So right now with the holidays coming, we're under stress. We don't have enough time. And it's a great way to get things back under control. When you want to eat healthy for a day, we just go back to our shred. But I'm going to list off some of the results, the typical results from our shred. People start craving more fruits and vegetables. It helps promote a healthier weight. People notice a better recovery from when they're working out. They start sleeping better, more energy. Like Tanya was saying, hair, skin, and nails. I mean, I can't tell you the stories of people, their hair starts growing in, if they have balding spots, sometimes that fills in. And I always hear about changes in skin. That's one of the biggest things. Improved regularity and increased mental clarity. So if you have any questions about the shred, let us know. And Elena, we probably need to do a raffle right now, right? And I'm going to show you what we're raffling off. If I can find it on my desk here somewhere.
I love doing raffles. I live for it.
Okay, so we're going to be doing a couple of raffles this morning, and we're going to call this our immune system packet, trial pack. And it's got a couple of shake samples, and our capsules also come in a gummy form. So there's a couple of fruit and veggie gummies, and then our berry gummies, which include elderberry. And elderberry is a big buzzword right now when it comes to flu season. So these are good for adults and children. So Elena, do you want to pick a name for our first?
I do. So this will be for our first drawing here. This is my fancy drawing cup. And we have Joanne Monaghan. Is that right? Monaghan? Joanne.
Yeah, she's the one on Zoom with us this morning, right?
Yeah, congratulations.
It's pronounced Monahan, but thank you very much. I'm very excited.
Monaghan.
Great, just send, I think you said Cindy invited you, just send her your address so we know where to send your raffle prize.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Good.
Should we check in with Cindy? I wonder if she's able to pop out and say hi real quick. I see her icon, but Cindy's on the golf course right now, so I'm not sure if she's able to say a quick hello or not. Oh, there she is. She's probably, knowing Cindy, she's probably got a shake on the go in her golf cart.
Well, as a matter of fact, Patty, let me see if I can't remember how to turn this around, but I have my shake right here. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but you know what else, you guys, I have, and I apologize if you've already mentioned these, but I actually, in the golf cart, keep our complete, let's see, bar, my phone's turned around, the complete bars too. So Lydia, have you already talked about the complete bars?
She has not.
Okay, all right. So just like the shakes, we have a tart cherry and honey bar. And then we have a chocolate and fig, which I think, Patty, this one's your favorite, right? But
It
it's
is. I
all
love the
about
chocolate.
having good, healthy choices. And what I love about these bars is not only, we can take them on the golf course, we can have them in the house, but especially in the car. Whoops. That we can have these good, healthy choices with us all the time. Again, loaded with fiber and protein and, more vegetables. So you guys have done an awesome job, and thanks everybody for listening in. I was thinking about this morning, and I'm a math nerd, and really, good health is just all about math. We're going to add some good, healthy choices in, and we're going to subtract some choices that maybe don't serve us so well. And, Juice Plus, it's 1 + 1 + 1 = 10. So Lydia, maybe you can explain our Juice Plus math to everybody.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Cindy.
And so Cindy's a great example of how we work our business when we have time. Some of us that are partners with the company, we've joined on this mission together. We like partnering up with like-minded people. And Cindy's doing her work today, but she's on the golf course sharing with us. And, we work basically from our phone, from our computer. Oops, we work from anywhere. So that's one of the beauties of our opportunity. But when she talks about our Juice Plus math, so what we know as far as any plant foods is they work better together. So is it healthy to have kale every day of the week? Yeah, of course it is. But when you start adding a variety of other plant foods, that makes the kale and everything else more potent, more bioactive. And so as far as our capsules together, let me see, I can't see here. We have this is 10 fruits, 10 greens, which are great together. But then when you add the berries, now 10 different berries, now 2 plus 1 doesn't equal 3, it equals 10 because they all work synergistically and become more active. And you just start getting results faster. But wherever anybody's interested in starting or has any questions, it's great. So you figure this is 30 fruits and vegetables. We have another, I think, 5 or 7 plant foods and our omegas. Somebody mentioned our omegas. So omegas are great for skin health, cardiovascular, brain health, eye health. Those are all kind of big deals, wouldn't you agree? But these are vegan. There's no fish. So they're actually safer and more eco-friendly.
Sustainable.
Thank you. Sustainable, that too, yes. And then when you add our shakes are another 15 plants. Everything we have is vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free. So you get about 50 plants a day when you do our entire lineup. But anywhere you start is great. And Elena, we're going to pick another raffle. And if anybody places any kind of an order today for anything at all, you're going to go into another raffle drawing I'm going to be giving a shaker bottle and a Juice Plus tote bag. Now that's for the people that place orders today. But we also have another immune system kit. So who's the next winner?
Okay, so the next winner is going to be Pam Martin.
Oh, Pam, yay.
Yay,
Awesome, Pam.
Pam. Woo!
Congratulations, Pam. Well, I know we're running a little long today, so just one last thing about our opportunity. You know, we don't have any minimum requirements. We're just like-minded people that like to help others inspire health. And when you hear the stories of people who have changed their health or changed their wealth with our opportunity, you know, we're changing lives. And right now there's a lot of people struggling. Maybe they just want some extra cash for Christmas for their family. You know, a lot of moms can't work right now because their kids are home doing virtual schooling. I mean, I know of a lot of moms that it's hard. This is really hard for what's going on for a lot of people. They're out of work. And, you know, we may be just a little part-time solution for them, whether they want to earn $500 a month or $1,000 or $5,000 a month. It just depends on what their desire is. But we'd be happy to share any information for that. And we just are on a mission together to inspire healthy living. And that's what brought a lot of us here today. So I hope you enjoyed our smoothie party today and got some really good nuggets of information. Anybody else have anything to add or any other questions?
I have a question. One thing that I noticed is that when you are a partner and you order a tower garden, you get a significant price break on that, don't you?
Absolutely. So if somebody wants to get that for themselves or as a gift, we have great pricing for our partners. Yes, that's awesome. And in the tower gardens, you can put it on 12 months, like same as cash or what they call easy pay. So it's kind of a no-brainer, but the company really helps with people that want to do that. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Before we sign off, Tanya, thank you again for sharing your story with us. I just love how Juice Plus has been such a boost, a catalyst for your family's health journey. So thank you again for sharing. And I'm just going to say one little thing about the Juice Plus business opportunity. I come from a healthcare background, so obviously I love helping people with their health journeys, but I'm a little schoolgirl at heart. I really missed the learning opportunities that I had when I worked in the medical field. You know, there were constant conferences to go to, and I like nothing more than getting my notebook and pen out and taking notes and learning all the time. So after I left my profession, I was kind of missing that. But the Juice Plus community is fabulous. I have learned so much. We constantly have doctors speaking and other healthcare professionals speaking. You don't have to be a partner to attend those talks, and of course now we're not doing the live conferences, but there's so much available virtually, and you can continue your learning. This old dog's learning lots of new tricks. I'm not a technology person, but I've actually learned a lot on how to use the, the Facebook and Zoom, and I didn't know how to do any of that a year ago. And it's great for personal development. As a Juice Plus community, we're constantly doing things to help each other learn. And Cindy and Lydia invite me to participate in some of our events. Sometimes I went kicking and screaming because public speaking's not my gig. But you know what? I'm learning new things. I'm doing more. I'm getting outside of my comfort zone. And no matter what age you are, it's always good to continue to learn and grow and get outside of your comfort box, So anyway, come join us, and we hope all of you have a blessed Thanksgiving next week. And thank you again for joining us today. So Lydia, any other closing remarks?
No, thank you everybody for attending today, and for all of you that shared. You're sharing your stories, sharing your recipes, and we just appreciate your time immensely.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Great stories and presentations. Thank you so much. And thank you to our guests. Thanks for tuning in today. Let us know if you have any questions.
Awesome. And everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Stay healthy out there.
Stay healthy. Bye.
Bye-bye.